last session we have discussed about we have come up until how to use commas and extended rules of commas. So as we discussed, when we have to separate two independent clauses, then we use comma along with a coordinating conjunction. So these are the 7 coordinating conjunctions which would be useful to separate comma, to use comma to separate the independent clause. So what are independent clause? I'll just repeat them. So independent clause has a subject and a verb, and it can stand alone. It does not require any additional sentence to continue the meaning. So for example, if we see here, the exam was over, so this sentence is complete. So it doesn't need any extra sentence to fit in or to support it. It can stand alone. The same goes with the second one. Students refuse to give the paper. So when we have to join two independent sentences which has equal meaning, we use this coordinating conjunction along with commas. And we see other 2 examples also here. Yesterday was Diwali, so they brought crackers for the festival. So here, yesterday was Diwali is an independent sentence, and they brought crackers for the festival is also the same one. And the another example is the lawyer explained the situation, yet the judge was unclear of it. So yet is a coordinating conjunction here, and we use it along with comma. So this was the last slide which we discussed in the last class. So I'll move on to the next one. So now we'll see where and when the italics is used in any context. So italics as a normal usage has come into picture is when in olden days we didn't had computers, or we didn't had any kind of regular this technology which we are using now. There people used to write, and when they have to highlight any such things, they used to underline it. So mostly the authors and writers used to underline to make the content or the words stand out from the rest of the sentence. So if they want others to pay attention to them, they use italics in such format, and it is being used today also. It depends on person to person. Like some people still prefer to underline things, or some even prefer italics. So here, if we see the example, If Tomorrow Comes by Sidney Sheldon. So If Tomorrow Comes is the novel name. So it has been italicized, and by Sidney Sheldon is the author name. So if I want to highlight the name of the book, I'm using italics. So if I want, the another example is Amir Khan's movie 3 Idiots. So if I want this 3 Idiots movie to stand out from the rest of the sentence, so I just italicized it. So this is the prominent use of italics in modern day. So now I'll again talk about semicolons. So as I have said in my last class, that semicolons actually connect two closely related sentences. So usually semicolons are used when we have a long pause. So when we have a shorter pause, we just use comma. But in case of a long pause, we use semicolons and colons. They have different contexts in it. For semicolon, what it does is, when there are two sentences which has meaning closely related to each other, and if we see here example, cats have fur, full stop, they are soft. So these are two independent sentences. So if we want them both, if both of them are actually talking about cat and their nature or their characteristics, and it also has a shorter pause. So if two sentences are talking of something and which has equal level of meaning, so those things can be connected by using a semicolon. And the wrong usage of semicolon could be, if I have to say about cats, cats have fur and I love cricket. So these are both not in context. This is something, I love cricket is something completely different from the first sentence. So there we cannot use. So if we are talking about a subject and they both are in relation, has equal level of meaning, and there is a shorter pause, and then we can use semicolon. Also, semicolon has another interesting usage here. Semicolons actually puts the emphasis on the first independent clause. So if we see here, cats have fur. So this is so they are soft is actually talking about this thing. It is playing emphasis on the first independent clause here. So this is one typical usage of semicolons. So now I'll give some of the examples of how exactly independent clauses can be used in different contexts. So as I have said, if there are two independent clauses, like for example, learning might be tedious, it can stand alone. It is necessary, it is also can stand alone, because it has a subject and it has a verb. So if we want to connect two independent clauses, we use coordinating conjunction along with comma. So here also the same one. We already have saved the money, so construction won't stop. So is the coordinating conjunction. We used it along with the comma. This is how we should use. And another, I'll talk about another example here. So we often see that there are certain clauses, there are certain introductory clauses, or there are certain prepositional phrases which come in the beginning of a sentence. Say for example here. So these are some of the phrases or which we use in the beginning of a sentence. For example, I'll talk about some examples. To cook aloo kurma, we must have potatoes. So this is an introductory phrase. So introductory phrase is actually separated from the main meaning of the main sentence by a comma. So we use comma to separate the introductory clauses or phrases or words from the regular sentence by using a comma. So that is one another usage of comma. Another example is, because he fell sick, we cancelled our vacation. So we cancelled our vacation is the main gist of this sentence, and this is actually introducing it. So we separate it with comma. And another example is, after the exam, the students gathered in the dining hall. So this is how commas can be used in introductory clause. So I'll talk about another regular typical usage which we would have seen in many other many situations. So if we are talking about series of elements in any particular situation, there we use comma. We separate the series of elements by using a comma here. So there are two examples here. I'll talk about it. So if I'm saying Jagadish is an expert in Tableau, Power BI, SSIS, Snowflake, Adobe Analytics, etc. So these are series of elements which the person has expertise in. So because I have to separate them to make it easy for the reader to understand it, what I'm talking about, we use comma to separate them, separate the different elements in the sentence. So another example would be, Jagdish has pledged to plant the trees, help the poor, protect the environment, and end the poverty. So this is another example where we separate different elements of a sentence by using a comma. So this is another important usage of how commas are used to give a proper meaning in a sentence where it has multiple elements in it. So we use comma in a sentence where we have to separate the non-essential elements.
Surya, also. You're putting too much pressure on Jagadish and poverty. Jagadish, are you there? I think
he's not in the meeting.
You're applying pressure when he's
he
not
has some
there.
issues with Zoom. Yeah.
So I'm now shifting focus on swap and so on.
Okay. Understand. Your turn.
Yeah. So another important usage of comma is, whenever we are talking about a person, we want to explain about that person, or we want to explain about that situation, something like if you want to talk something which happened in the history, we usually describe that situation. Sometimes the description might be important to the subject, sometimes it might not. So if we feel it is non-essential but it adds some meaning, then we separate them with a comma. See, for example, Swap's car, a red Altroz, needs washing. Basically what I want to say is Swap's car needs washing. That is what I want to communicate. But here I have put a red Altroz also, because it is adding another extra information, but it might not be that essential for the sentence. So we separate the non-essential elements which are not what we intend to communicate to the person. If there are such non-essential items, we separate them by commas. So another example is, when he realized it is already 10 in the night, Shravan rushed to his home and hurried to the bed. So what I want to communicate is, I want to say that Shravan rushed to his home immediately and hurried to bed. So this is what I want to do. Sorry?
I said no dinner.
I think someone was fasting yesterday. Yeah.
So you want him to fast the night also?
Yeah. So when he realized it is already 10 in the night, so this is an extra element which is adding value to the sentence, but might not be that essential to the meaning. So the main intention of me is to communicate that he hurried to his home and hurried to bed. So this thing is a non-essential but adds meaning. So we separate them with the comma. So this is another typical usage of comma to separate non-essential elements in a sentence. So another important usage would be, we use comma between coordinate adjectives. What are coordinate adjectives? So adjectives usually describe the characteristics or they communicate some meaning. And when it is a coordinate adjective, what it means is the different adjectives which are used in a sentence, they have the equal meaning, or they can be reversed also. Say for example, the hungry, starving, famished crowd waited impatiently for the feast to begin. So the hungry, starving, famished, both three of them are actually communicating the same meaning. Hungry means starving is equal to famished. Three of them are actually talking about starving only. And these can be reversible. This can be, the order can be changed too. So when we are using such coordinative adjectives in a sentence, we separate them with comma to communicate the meaning. And another example is...
Surya, one question here. Like we are separating these three adjectives, right? Like, are we not supposed to use and while separating starving and famished, or is it like we have to use only comma?
Actually, and might not be that important in this particular sentence actually, because and when we sorry.
No, go ahead, please.
So when and is used when we have a limited number of when we are actually communicating something which has a limited number of elements in it. So for example, if there are 5 elements in it, so I'll talk about 4 and I'll mention about the 5th one. So here in this context, there can be n number of sentences, and not necessarily does not add any value to this sentence. So it can be eliminated here, especially when we are using coordinative adjectives which are of equal meaning. Does that answer your question, Sanjay?
Yeah. And this was also taken from the site.
Yeah. It is taken from the same online writing lab of university. So the previous class and this particular class is actually taken from that one.
Okay.
Yeah. So another example is the shiny blazing suit was the attraction in the party night. So shiny communicates the same thing, blazing also the same. The both are equal in meaning. And this is another example. So here another example of comma would be using it in a transitional element. So there are certain transitional elements which we use in a sentence. Like for example, some of the examples would be therefore, however, nonetheless. These are actually talking about the particular situation, the timing, or it is mostly the timing one. So these transition elements, whenever we use them, we actually use comma here. So some of the transition elements are therefore, however, nonetheless, also, otherwise, finally. So these are a series of transition elements which are there. And so if you go to the examples, the first one is, for example, Paradise Biryani, Irani Chai, and Aloo Samosa are the popular foods in Hyderabad. So for example, is a transition element. It is actually helping us to start the context of what I'm going to talk about. So we'll separate that thing with the comma. The second one would be Mumbai Indians and Chennai Super Kings are the successful teams in IPL. On the other hand, Royal Challengers Bangalore, Kolkata Knight Riders are the popular teams in the IPL. So on the other hand, here is the transition element. They can come in the beginning, they can come in the between also to set up the context. So there we separate them with comma. Third one would be, if you really want to become successful, however, you must show your perseverance and diligence. So however is acting as a transition element in this particular sentence. So we separate them with a comma here. So in continuation to that, another examples would be, so as I have discussed that whenever we use comma in between two independent sentences, we definitely have to put a coordinating conjunction. So this is actually talking about that thing only. Upma is boring, so I prefer Maggie. Actually, this can also be communicated in this way. Upma is boring, I prefer Maggie. So I'm talking about say particular meal. So I'm actually talking about what I prefer, what I not prefer. So both are in the context, or both are of equal, both of the sentences are communicating some intention which I want to communicate with you. So these can be separated with a semicolon here. So this can be used in two ways. One is Upma is boring, comma, so I prefer Maggie. Or we can say it as Upma is boring, semicolon, I prefer Maggie. This can be used in different ways. And another example would be, I love watching cricket, comma, but which is coordinating conjunction, I hate test matches. So these are two independent clauses. They are separated or joined by comma and coordinating conjunction. We can use semicolon also and can replace it like this. I love watching cricket, semicolon, I hate test matches. So these are two different ways of communicating the same meaning in commas or semicolons. So if in any sentence, if we see, there are different types of sentence. So for example, the basic or the simple sentence which we see is independent clause. Independent clause has a subject and a verb, and it does not require any particular punctuation at all. Say for example here, Radha loves Krishna, or he loves sweets, or he loves bikes. So these things definitely only in the end they require a full stop as a punctuation to just communicate the end of the meaning, but in between there won't be any typical any usage of punctuations here. So this is the common example of a simple sentence, a simple independent clause. Compound one is whenever there are two independent clauses. The earlier one there was only one independent clause, but here we have two independent clauses. And as I've said, when two independent clauses are joined or separated, we have to use this seven coordinating conjunctions. So this can be easily remembered by a word called fanboys. If we see F for A for and, N for nor, but, B for but, O for or, Y for yet. So if we take first letters and we put it together, it becomes fanboys. So in this way we can remember these 7 coordinating conjunctions whenever we are using comma. If we see the example here, getting up early and doing exercise can be inconvenient, comma, but it is necessary. So we have separated them with the comma here. So, and if we want to use colon, so far we have talked about semicolon and comma. Suppose in case if we want to use colon, where exactly we will use colon? Colon is used when we are beginning a sentence. Like for example, here in this particular sentence, I have used colon. It is used usually to communicate that the sentence which is going to start. So usually they are used in introductory statements before starting a statement. That is a common usage. Colon definitely has a very different meaning here. What colon does is, whenever there are two independent clauses in any sentence, colon is used to put emphasis on the second sentence. What I meant is, suppose I am talking about a situation where I bring in some context and I communicate the original meaning. So if I want to put emphasis on the second part, I'll use colon. I'll talk an example here. So for example, here if you see the first one, floods in Tamil Nadu has hindered the traffic flow around. Parts of Chennai, Coimbatore, Tanjore are closed. So I want to communicate that parts of Chennai, Coimbatore, Tanjore are closed. That is what I actually want to communicate. But because I bring some context here, so that I can put emphasis on the second one. So when there is a colon, it actually is communicating that the main important gist of the sentence is in the second part. So that is how we use colon here, and it can be used in different in the similar different examples when we are putting emphasis on the second part of the sentence. And as we have discussed, semicolon, it is used to put the emphasis on the first clause. So colon is used to put emphasis on second one, semicolon is used to put the emphasis on the first one. Say here, floods in Tamil Nadu has hindered the traffic flow. Streets have become covered with water and vehicle. So what I am communicating is floods in Tamil Nadu has hindered the traffic flow. So that is what the main gist of the sentence. And I also added some other important elements also, which just describes about the first sentence, like streets have become covered with water. So these actually are adding intensity or gravity to the first sentence. So that is how colon and semicolons are used to communicate a proper meaning in any sentence. So this is a complex sentence here. So in simple, there was only one independent clause. In compound, there were two independent clauses. But in complex, we have one or more dependent clauses or one or more independent clauses. So there can be more than one, dependent or either independent. So dependent is the one which cannot stand alone. The sentence cannot stand alone. It needs support from a continuing sentence. So how it is used, how comma is used in this place, let us see. So we use the comma to actually join the dependent clause with an independent clause with a comma, and we does not necessarily need a coordinating conjunction or an introductory phrase or any prepositional phrase. We can just separate them by using a comma. See, for example, here, because Tamil Nadu has seen severe floods, comma, many people have stayed at home. Many people have stayed at home is the independent clause. Because Tamil Nadu has seen severe floods, so it is not communicating anything. There is some continuation which has to be there to this first sentence. So when we use comma, they both get connected and they convey a proper meaning to the reader here.